Alright, let's record live here and update this Goose control rig. So we have 3 different Goose models. This is the old one, which I can delete now. That was like the first one. That one didn't have the pivot corrections. This one has pivot corrections, but it doesn't have. See if I can just open this up. So we're gonna try 2 things. It has the pivot corrections, but it doesn't have all of the detail in the wings that we just did. So I'm gonna try to update this. I don't know if that is possible. Might be easier to just recreate a new one. Like I don't see a way to change the reference. Maybe settings. Yeah, I don't really see, because you can import a skeleton, but I don't see how to like change that import. Before it was like right here, and so now I don't see a way to deal with that. I think like, oh, here we go. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so once we do this, I'm pretty sure this will break. So we'll have to rebuild this little list of items in this array. Let me see. It's just like all of the bones that start with QA. Or is it SPA, not QA? And then this are all the controls. And so it's just a couple drag and drop operations and like copy and paste, and that should be it. Okay, so I'll try that. I'm always a little afraid it's gonna crash. So let's try Goose 3. Surprisingly, it came, oh no, there it is, Goose 2. This is the one we're already using, so we'll switch to the third. And let's see what it does, which I'm anticipating. Maybe because of the names, it's okay. Oh no, there it goes, root 2. Wow, that's crazy. Can I just delete this? Just delete all of this. It's not really a great way to update it, but that's kind of interesting. It's like got the stuff just, it's like it still has the references somewhere. It's interesting. Yeah, I'll just cut this for now. And I've heard that when you're organizing the hierarchy and stuff and getting that set up, you should turn these off because it could just be unstable. So you can get the plain model, and then when we're ready to actually do control rig things, then we can hook that up. So it looks like I didn't delete everything correctly. This is still around. It's not letting me actually delete. Yeah, root 2. It's not really going away. So I'm not sure if this is worth it, like editing an existing control rig, because it's responding kind of poorly, and it's adding 2s to everything, which is going to throw off any algorithm. So I'm just going to close this. And I'll make a new one, which fortunately wasn't terrible. You can like copy and paste the algorithm over there into this one. There might be a better way to update, I just don't know it yet. Okay, so here's this. Let me open up the old one too. I should have kept it open. So I'm going to want to grab this stuff. It's annoying. Alright. And we'll just do it fresh. I did this with imports as well. I learned that you can't really, you can re-import over a model, like you can right click and re-import, but if you made significant changes to the skeleton, it doesn't handle it well. Like you gotta just do it fresh. Alright, cool. So this is our guy. And so we're gonna do that PA underscore filter. And that should give us all of the a hierarchy. So I'm gonna just like shift click, and where is that option? New, add controls for selected. So there we go. So we got this guy. Change this to make it a little bit smaller. It's funny, it didn't seem to do anything. What? Oh, it's because I only did it for the one. I had to like shift click. I don't even know if this works. Hold on. Alright, it's freezing on me. PA underscore. Do I have to do this by hand? Are you gonna? So if I shift click, then open that. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't. That's kind of obnoxious, but it's not the end of the world. I just don't know how to open up the whole tree. Is there a way to open the whole tree up? There's probably a hotkey or something that I don't know. But yeah, we need the whole tree open so we can just mess with all of these. So this is the wing with those feathers. Hopefully I got them all. I suppose it'll be pretty obvious if I didn't get them all, because multiple values. Yeah, I get it. Let me change it. There we go. So I got those smaller, and then just make it something that's kind of easier to see. All right, cool. So those are all our pivots. I started to think about like what kind of joint it is and the relationship with its parent, so that we could like work that into the naming, um, but haven't really implemented any of that yet. So still fumbling through this, but eventually I want to add like little keywords like that make it stretchy or make it like stiff or fixed, or that might make it only rotate on one plane, things like that, which it could get too complicated potentially. But if we come up with a good scheme, then we could have it baked into the name, and then we could just have it automatically rig in here. And so I'm starting to see that potential, because right now I don't really know what I want. Like I don't know what rules to create, and so I'm thinking we're just going to do it by hand. We're going to go through the model and set up the rules and play with the math algorithms. And once we get an understanding of how those work, then we'll come back and maybe find ways to like semi-automate it a little bit more. But this drag and drop thing with the highlighting and stuff is fine for now. So speaking of which, do this, and it did it again. Yeah, it doesn't like grab the whole. You have to do this. Drag, create item array. There you go. Slightly unfortunate. There we go for each bone. And then we'll do the same thing for the controls, which I minimized, but hopefully it's expanded. Okay, it's expanded. There we go. And so then that whole like control creating process should be put this out for another copy paste possibly later. All right, I think that's it. Because that's, oh yeah, I guess there's the reverse solve, which is apparently the same thing but backwards. And my understanding on this has, I don't know, I want to say it's gotten maybe better, but not really. I probably shouldn't even say that. I think once I use it for something, like I just haven't seen it get used yet, like for something that I made, so it's hard for me to grasp it. I've seen it at work, but like in the examples, but that's not quite It's just not, it's not enough. I got to build something that's using it. I suppose for now it's enough to just know how to set it up. Okay, so there's the reverse. So I should be able to do that. And now we can use this version. So setting up IKs and stuff will probably be the next sort of thing to get the animations going. But yeah, let's look at one of these feathers, but we'll not have to worry about it too much at the moment. So for the feathers, I was thinking they moved ever so slightly. There you go. It's got the little snapping on, but yeah, it's kind of like move a little. Yeah, that's the magic. Cool. Awesome. That's pretty much it for this. I'm going to move on to the back to the desk. So let me delete the old CR Goose. I'm going to commit this code up as well. Is it really code? Sort of. Let me make sure. I'm going to load the scene real quick. We'll load the scene. It's just currently playground 2 just to... Okay, yeah, I need to delete that model. I just left it in the scene. Did not mean to do that. I probably just like hit save whenever I left. Yeah, Goose take 1. Just get rid of it. Alright, so, because this is supposed to be like dynamically generated content for the most part. Everything on here is just spawned at runtime. Okay, so I'm going to come mess with that. We basically have the Vaporgram spawn happening, and which I usually save this for the devlog, so I'll cut that. I'll cut here and get distracted and start talking about different stuff, trying to stay on topic with the goose. So it can delete. Now with that gone, the reference gone, I can blast this folder, and we can start using this folder instead, which there's a blueprint for selecting a ship that is being worked on, and so I need to work out. Now I would move that control rig into the blueprint, which I think is either this one or, yeah, this guy. So currently we have a little ship selector like this, and so there's a lot of things we're going to do here, but right now I just hard code threw in this one model, which I actually don't even know which one is the swan. Like, what is this? I'm not even sure where this is coming from. EP swan colorable. Yeah, like don't see it in the hierarchy. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's a child of this. So I think I've learned a couple things. First off, like whenever I was doing animations with the physics, so like, okay, yeah, I'm getting distracted. I'm cutting.